As always, we begin with some light poetry. I don't know why I do this, because I'm a fucking nerd. Persephone by Joan Ailshire. Close to solstice, the sun barely rises, skims the heads of skeletal trees and drops so early I'm always amazed. The sun seems drawn to oblivion as I, leaving a party, forgot the friends who waited and followed you into the dark. You never asked would I. I never said I would, walking heedlessly into a night of no stars or reason. Persephone, I think, was drawn like this, and Hades no more familiar with the dark. You must have sensed how she longed to drink of it, Persephone. Gave her the pomegranate, its flesh so like living tissue stripped of skin it quivered on the tongue. She tasted, swallowed some, how could she not? They say clouds wept stones, leaves and fruit were dashed to the ground. Demeter's rage became winter wind, her tears the first snow. Winter's coming is seen as tragic, loss of innocence, loss of life, but who can say this night sky, stars hanging like silver apples from bare trees, isn't beautiful? Who can say Persephone didn't love the Dark Lord, hadn't grown tired of living with her mother? Safety, endless mildness, all that perfect light. What came first, the free will or the fruit? What good is temptation without the free will to pursue it? What good is free will without temptation to pursue? That's what always bothered me about so many of these stories, Adam and Eve, Pandora, Persephone, and Hades. Free will and temptation reside hand in hand, yet those who wrote these stories tried to make us believe that resisting was the correct answer. Laughable. Be they devils or gods, they only offer what they know we will accept. They are not stupid, and the house always wins. Yet we continue to play. Playing is the very thing. That is the essence of being alive. Demeter says, "My poor child, taken against her will." Persephone, meanwhile, gorges herself on the fruit, the ruby-red juices dripping down her chin, along her soft throat to pool in the hollow of her collarbone, sweet, sticky, and soft as lovers' kisses. Hades knew what he was doing. And you bet your ass Persephone did as well. And last we saw our intrepid Sabbatters. You had found yourselves at the bottom of a deep well filled with bodies, some alive, some dead. You had encountered some force living deep beneath Chicago, something called the Unnamed. This thing reached out to some of you. Some of you had already been under its sway, but it reached out to all of you and showed you possible futures and asked if you would be interested in these futures. You managed to climb out of the well much like the Unnamed had done so long ago, along with its two brethren, the three who formed the Bali. You climbed out of that flesh pit. You killed the priestess and made your escape. On the way out, having abandoned whatever shreds of humanity were left to you, some of you quite literally, as Francis transformed into a literal serpent to escape the fleshy pit. You made your way outside, leaving the dark underground where you had been held captive, where you had seen such dark designs, leaving the flesh pit behind. And as you stepped out into the night, you were greeted by the person who in some ways started all this, the person you came to Chicago looking for. Because if you remember, a long time ago, it probably seems like a few lifetimes now, but it wasn't that long ago. It was only a few nights ago that you had been tasked by Cardinal Santiago to come to Chicago and find a kindred named Ophelia, an Assamite of the Black Hand. Some years ago, A Black Hand pack had been sent to Chicago to assassinate a group of elders. They had managed to kill 4 of their 5 targets, but the 5th one, the Tremere Regent, Charlotte Rojas, escaped. They were hunted down and killed. All of them believed dead, except for Ophelia, who somehow managed to reappear not too long ago from the underground somewhere. The Black Hand was interested in having Ophelia rejoin their ranks. They had tasked Carter with not returning Ophelia to Santiago, but instead to send her off to the Middle East, where there is some sort of something brewing. All the elders being called over there. Some say Gehenna itself is on its way. But you had been sent here primarily to find Ophelia, and as you exit the underworld, lay down, catch your breath, with dawn very, very close by. You're met with Ophelia, standing there, a slight woman, dressed in black and neon clothing, carrying a sword, melding into shadows. Her approach completely silent, as of course the Assamites are wont to do. As you take in the person you came here to find, but everything that's happened since then, she looks at you and says, I hear you've been looking for me. You look a little worse for wear. Are you all right?
Well, I don't know if you've been keeping up on current events, but we just kind of got our asses kicked, pal. Where the hell have you been?
About?
Right, about. Do you think to maybe check in with HQ or anything along those lines?
I've been otherwise occupied. I don't think HQ is really much of my concern now.
They think otherwise.
I'm sure they do. Otherwise, they wouldn't have sent you. You saw what's down there, right?
Oh,
Yep.
yeah.
What are your thoughts and feelings about it?
I look down, covered in like ichor and blood, and look back up at her like, oh, I don't know. Seems like a nice place to build a summer home.
I don't know if they'll let you. They seem to be a little unwelcoming to strangers, as I'm sure you found out.
Yeah. Yep.
She comes over, sits down cross-legged. Sun's going to come up pretty soon. I'm pretty sure there's going to be some Camarilla breathing down our necks too, and who knows what's going to come out of there. She points the way you came. I'm assuming you didn't kill everything that was down there.
No. I don't think we did. You got somewhere to take us?
I haven't decided yet. I'm still unsure of your goals, your mindset at the moment.
Our goals is simple. Find you and bring you back to Gary. That's about it.
Still working for the Cardinal then, after everything he's just done to you.
Listen, lady, a job's a job. Every manager's gonna fuck you over one way or another.
Unless we didn't have a manager anymore.
Would it interest you to find out that finding me was never the actual point of this exercise?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that we know at this point that this was a fucking trap.
Yeah.
It wasn't a trap. The Cardinal got exactly what he wanted.
Which was?
Like, Carter actually, like, looks at Lydia like, the fuck?
Okay, look, Dawn is almost here. You can either choose to take us somewhere and elaborate on this, or we're going to go find somewhere else to go.
I'm not holding you back. I'm not taking you where I lay my head down either.
Oh, God.
Actually, I have a place where we could go.
Great. Let's
This
go.
where everybody knows your name? Where are we going?
Hardly, but I get the reference.
Yeah. Your oldest turd, so.
Mm-hmm. You follow her walking out of the industrial park where you were. And as you're walking, she says, did the Cardinal elaborate on the reason why he sent us here in the first place in 2011?
What, you want to know if we know?
Well, I want to know if you know, because I don't want to waste my breath telling you if you do.
Yeah, we know you botched a job. That's what we know.
Did he tell you that the 4 we killed were actually our job? The ones the Black Hand wanted us to assassinate? And that the 5th one was one that the Cardinal himself tacked on at the last minute, a personal job.
And?
The Tremere Regent. Seems Santiago and her have a little beef going back a long, long time. This
So...
thing you met underground,
Mm-hmm.
best I can tell, is also involved in this. This all goes back a long, long time between the 3 of them and some others. Allies, sometimes enemies, others. But all of this was Santiago's personal little mission. It's not the Sabbat. It's not the Black Hand.
I mean, killing camis, regardless of who it's for, is kind of in the Sabbat charter, pretty sure.
Yeah, but sending us off on personal errands is a bit extreme, don't you think?
Nah, not really.
I'm a little surprised you're so amenable to all this.
Well, when Silver told me that he had brought you here, that you were looking for me, I figured I might as well come and take a look in case you actually meant business and were going to be trying to track me down. Figured we might as well get that over with as soon as possible. But when I saw you climb out of there, I thought, well, wait a minute. Maybe these guys don't know exactly what's going on or what they've been sent to do. My main question is, are you still going to be trying to bring me in? Because, as I said, that's not a true purpose of your thing here. And I'd rather not have to fight and kill all of you. Or get killed myself.
Or, hear me out, spitballing, you just come back to Gary, which is 2 hours away, do your check-in, and then go fuck off into all the nights for the rest of eternity. It's a win-win situation.
There's only one problem with that.
Yeah.
What's your name? I'm sorry.
Well, I guess my name's kind of irrelevant, isn't it? In your eyes.
Well,
What's
I'd
your-
rather not just call you Baseball Hat.
Oh, well, I mean, I kind of like the name. Better than the ones that these fuckheads giving me, but Carter's the name.
Yeah, I've heard of you.
You know, everybody says that.
Been doing the Cardinal's bidding for a long time, have you?
Listen, we're all just trying to climb that dick-sucking ladder. We just pick a path.
My problem, Carter, is that I owe one death. I was sent here to kill 5 people. And as you mentioned earlier, I botched it up. There's still one name left on that ledger. Now, I've come to believe that the one I was sent to kill, Rojas, may not be the one I want to kill. And I'm still trying to decide which one it's going to be. Is it going to be Rojas, whose real name, by the way, is Reyna Lindworm? The chantry here is filled with Tremors who are not Tremors. It's an interesting little situation.
Yep, just like the Sabbat being full of a lot of not Sabbat.
So I'm not sure if I want to kill her, or if I want to kill Santiago, or if I want to kill the thing that's downstairs.
You think you can take on the thing downstairs?
Probably not.
Yeah. Considering, and I look down once again and look back up, everything we just saw.
Well, as Meatloaf says, 2 out of 3 ain't bad.
And as Meatloaf says, I would do anything for love.
But I won't do that. And he points down at the fucking hole. But I won't do that.
She doesn't smile like I'm smiling because she has no sense of humor. But I would like to take this particular moment just to make sure that you have refreshed your minds of this, Cato and Alex. You did read the thing that I sent, right? Okay. Well, that's my conundrum. It's my decision to make. I'll make it sometime soon. And I believe that Santiago is not working in the interest of the Sabbat, and so I believe that killing him would be fair. I really don't care for this Charlotte Rojas / Reyna Lindworm. And I really don't care for the thing downstairs. So, I guess my question is, what do you want to do? Because I'm pretty sure that returning to Santiago at this point is out of the question for at least a few of you.
Meh. Why would you say it's out of the question for a few of them?
Because I think some of you have probably seen enough to know that that's not what you want to do anymore. I don't know. I'm assuming that out of 4 people, once you know you've been thoroughly used. And my thing is this. I've always watched you, the rank and file of the Sabbat, with a little bit of bemused look in my eyes, I guess, because you all claim so loudly and cherish so much this liberty and freedom that you have, making fun of the Camarilla and their chains and their structures and their rules and this, that, and the other, and how so much freer and individualistic you all are, and yet you are all just throwaway pawns, even more so than in the Camarilla. And I've always thought that maybe the only thing most of you needed were a little kick in the ass, a little, well, look, let's move the curtain a little bit and show you what's behind it. And I don't know what you saw down there, and I don't know what you've been through. All I know is what Silver has told me. But I would be willing to bet that some of you have seen things that are making you question. And I guess I'm very curious to find out what it is you want to do now. You want to go back to Santiago? You want to bring me back to him? Want to go back down there to that thing?
I think we should bring you back to Santiago.
Yeah.
Just for a friendly chat, check in, see how things are going.
Because most importantly, if your ass is brought back to Santiago, then my bonds are broken and I'm free to pursue my own. Because
you wouldn't say that your bonds are broken now?
Well, no, not at all. Because unfortunately, part of my bond is making sure that these other fuckers make it back.
Yeah, he's doing a great job.
Well, you're still not breathing?
Right, but the sun's about to come up, so let's all just not fucking die.
She has a point.
You follow her up a few blocks, and eventually you arrive at what looks like a block of condo apartments. Nothing really that stands out of the ordinary too much. I will ask Kato for sure. Then let me see the other character sheets. Ian. Oh yeah, I guess everyone can do it. Everyone give me a perception and occult roll. Your target is going to be 6.
I'm gonna slap some night moves on this. Can you remind us again, Bleakseason, what night moves are in this game?
Yeah, you can spend a 9 move. If you have 1s and no successes, that's a botch. You can spend a 9 move to ignore that, or you can spend a 9 move to get an automatic success.
I'm gonna spend a night move.
Go for it.
Great. 1 automatic success, so that would be 3 successes for me.
I had 6 successes, 2 criticals, 2 10s.
Oh, I had 1 10. I just realized. I forgot what system we played.
Remember that 1s cancel out successes, right?
Yeah, but I spent a night move.
All right, that's fine. So everyone with at least 1 success. As you approach this condo block, you will see a sign in front, a red neon sign that declares it to be the Edgewater Urban Living condominiums. You will, as you approach it, if you had at least 1 success, you will right away feel that there's something off with this place. There is some kind of supernatural or whatever type of force, but there's something that just feels off right away as soon as you approach it. And it doesn't feel like what you saw downstairs.
They got you living in condos?
Oh, no. I don't live here. I don't want to live here, but this is where this is kind of all began, actually.
Timeshares? What?
It's the PJs.
The PJs?
The projects. Urban living.
Well, I think they've kind of gentrified that particular title
Isn't it upscale condos now? Some sort
Yes.
of rich yuppie shit? Don't they know what they built this on?
Oh, jeez.
And they say that this one's haunted. That there are weird
Yeah.
things happening. They're having a lot of difficulty selling them out. There's a lot of
Yeah.
empty ones. We can rest here, quiet like.
Oh, fucking great.
The irony is not lost on me in this moment. It's haunted. It's weird things. 5 fucking vampires just standing here. Yeah, it probably is.
Let's get inside before the sun comes up. Come on.
You get in pretty easy. And then the whatever security measure they have are not really any match for the lot of you. She'll move about, putting an ear to some of the doors, and eventually she'll be like, this one's empty. And she will open the door. Inside, you will find an empty condo. Nice. Kind of upscale. Nice little view on the surrounding area. Big bay windows. Thankfully, there are a few internal rooms that are not where the windows are, so you'll be able to find some darkness to avoid the sun in. Anybody nervous? She says.
Why?
I don't know, ghosts. Some people don't like ghosts.
I think I've seen enough that a ghost is not going to bother me at this point.
At this point, it's almost welcomed.
No, this is where they found me. Underneath here.
Yeah?
There was some kind of maze down here. I ran through that place for God knows how long. This was after the Tremere hunted down my pack. They killed all of us one after the other. That big ass bastard, Scourge, and some of the other Tremeres. I managed to escape because I ran down in here. Back then it was this hospital that had been abandoned, was derelict. I ran through it. Some kind of maze down there. I got lost. I was lost for a long time, and eventually I fell down that same hole that a lot of you fell down. When I fell in, I broke my back. I couldn't move for a while. A bunch of weird, ghoulish creatures with white skin came down, and they dragged me out of that pit and they encased me in cement. I stayed there for several years. There was a bunch of anarchs, I guess, that found me, Silver among them. He woke me up by pouring his blood down my throat. I don't know if you know what that does to an Assamite, to be forced to drink the blood of another kindred. There was a werewolf there, some kind of raggedy ass, pus dripping, scarified werewolf.
One of the corrupted ones, huh?
Yeah, spent a few days with him down there. I don't know if you know what it's like to be encased in cement in a hole with a werewolf called Bag Lunch, but it kind of forces you to rethink some of your past decisions. In any case, when they dragged me out of there, this lady came down. She had snake eyes. She tried to blood bond me, but of course that didn't work. And it kind of left me alone. And I've been hanging out here, first of all, wondering when they were going to send someone after me, which I guess they just did. But then also trying to figure out what I'd been doing, what the point of all of it was. And once you get past a lot of the brainwashing, this is what we must do, this is what we are created to do, etc., well, I realized that I did like doing most of it. And I do believe that the threat of the antediluvians is real. I've read and seen enough to know that it's true. The thing down underneath our feet right now is proof enough of that. They're going to come, they're going to awaken at some point, and when they do, they're going to need to eat all of us to survive. So, best to be prepared. But then I started thinking about how all of this, my pack, what we did, my pack getting destroyed, being sent here, now you, a lot of you being sent here under false pretense. All of this because two people, Santiago and Reina Lindworm, some hundreds of years ago, got into a tiff. And can't let it go. Because this is what it's all about. I don't know what happened back then. I have no clue. And there's a few of them that are involved in this. Rainworm's one of them. Santiago's one of them. The lady with the snake eyes who tried to blood bond me is one of them. A few others. And the thing down there, whatever they did, back then it got them into this little tiff that they're now still carrying on and throwing lives away at it like it means nothing, is the reason why this thing's here. And so I ask you again, what do you want to do with your lives now that they're yours? I had my opportunity a few years ago to make that decision, and I don't regret it. And while sure, we can fight if you want, and you'll probably kill me, but I'll take a few of you along the way. I would like to give you that opportunity to make that decision for yourself. And I think you should take it. Because whatever bonds brought you here, whatever bonds held you together, tied you to the Cardinal, tied you to the Sabbat, tied you to whatever in your past, if you're going to tell me that you went through what you went through down there and came out of it, and that those bonds are not severed, if you're going to tell me that, I will call you a liar to your face. I am tired, and I'm going to go in the other room on the other side, and I will claim that room, and I will sleep in it because the sun is coming up. The four of you can share this room. If you attempt to do anything to me, I will fight until the last ounce of my blood is out of my body, and I guarantee you I will take some of you with me. I know Carter. I know his reputation. I don't know the rest of you. But Carter can also tell you that even though he doesn't know my reputation, he knows what Black Hand do. Have yourself a think. And tomorrow night, you can tell me if we're throwing down because you're going to try to bring me to Santiago, because I am not going. Or you can seize this opportunity to grab your own lives in your hands and to make of it what you want, because it is going to be long if you're lucky. And you might as well be doing something with it that you want to do. And she leaves the room. And you hear the door in the other room across the condo close.
Right, who's taking her?
What?
No way.
You have to be fucking kidding.
No.
None of us are staking her.
You can do it.
I mean... No one? Wow.
No.
Y'all been through the ringer just a little bit.
Yep.
Oh, that's sad. All right, then.
I'm awfully confused.
Carter, aren't you tired of doing this over and over again? To
Nope.
continually playing fetch for your masters, bringing them a bone and them not giving you a single treat?
Well, you see, it's all in the treats that we make. Emphasis on make. And you see, my treat is waiting for me. And see, all I gotta do is I just gotta complete this one little bitty task. And then I'm
go
free to
do
go.
it. Then go. Go do it. You're obviously alone in this. You're the only person who has something to gain. The rest of us are just along for this hellish ride. It's right there in that other room. Have at it.
You don't think y'all were chosen for a reason?
Chosen for what, Carter? Honestly, this all just seems... We're expendable, Carter. Every single one of us. For a tiff. A lover's quarrel, it sounds.
Listen. You're talking to a guy who fought multiple battles on multiple fronts to appease some people's egos. And I'm here to tell you, it doesn't matter what the war or fights are about. It's about how you come out the other side. And you, nightclub owner, Mr. Fancy Pants, look at you now. You're a fighter. You're a killer. You're a warrior. But hey, you didn't learn nothing from this. You were just used, right? You didn't get nothing out of it. You didn't build yourself up. You weren't first faced with adversary that you would never normally face and come out stronger on the other end. Were you? Nah, not at all. You weren't tested. You didn't have anything to prove. You were just as good as you are now going in, right? You didn't learn nothing.
I'm gonna go clean up.
That's fine. Doesn't even notice it. Let's get one thing straight, Spud Hut. Okay.
Ooh, that's a good one. I like that one.
Yeah, you can keep it. As sure as shit that you can't see the end of a beer can or that stupid hat that you continually to wear, I am continually tested.
Yeah? How's that? How's that?
Should I spell it out for you, Trailer Park?
I don't know. I told that teacher lady I didn't need to know my ABCs or my 1, 2, 3s, just red, white, and blue.
And look at you now, the head of the shit pile.
Yeah. I'm the head of the shit pile and I ain't scared. And you're scared.
I'm not scared. I'm tired.
Yeah, you're scared. You're scared, all right, because you're scared one day you're gonna end up just like me. And that's a fact. You're scared that you might have to answer to somebody, but guess what? You've been answering to Lydia the whole time. Partners, my ass. You want to talk about freedom? How come you're working for her, not doing your own job? You want to talk about not being afraid of nothing, right? How come when it came to slicing and dicing, you were so quick to pass the buck? Yeah, you ain't scared. You ain't scared of nothing. You got lots to live for. It's okay though. You keep your delusions.
That's fine.
Verena
That's fine,
says,
Connor.
is this foreplay doing anything for anyone else also? I'm on the...
Oh, hey, baby girl. About time you showed up.
I love her. Protect.
I mean, are you gonna fuck or what?
I mean, I'm down.
That's my joke.
Yeah. It's just you and your hand tonight, buddy. Trust me.
Aw. How you doing, Rosie? And he just wanders off into the other room.
The fucking God, I swear.
I have this thing that I can do where I can transform his hand enough that it feels like it's a stranger's hand. He likes that.
Verena, please. Please take that somewhere else.
I'm sorry.
You're fine.
Am I upsetting
Don't
you,
apologize.
Archie?
No, you're just being yourself. Just could you be yourself over there?
She looks over at Lydia and at Francis and goes, okay. And she slithers sachets over to Francis.
Like that lady from, what is it, Mars Attacks?
And she comes over and she just stands right next to you and just kind of looks at your collarbone.
I'm not going to engage. I'm not going to deter, but I'm also not engaging at the moment.
You see that around her neck, she has a set of dog tags with some blood on them. You are pretty sure that they were bird songs.
Going to take a little bit of a second look at that. Maybe making a slight pass, but mostly looking at the dog tags. Verena, where did you find those?
I'm sorry, I was just trying to imagine what it would feel like to have your rib cage wrapped around my head, you were saying?
The dog tags? Right now I'm thinking about ribcage.
Yes. I got them off of Birdsong's body.
Interesting.
I stayed back a little bit after they killed him and y'all ran inside. No, not a single night went by that we didn't fight. But I don't think anyone has ever loved me the way he loved me.
Reach over and kind of grab arm, little thumb rub. I believe that to be true.
Thank you, Francis.
You seemed awfully kind. At least he spoke up for me once or twice in his brief meetings.
Well, he was a stone cold killer. Probably worse than Carter in many ways. He just didn't have the intelligence that Carter has to actually make something of himself beyond being a right-hand man, but he could be soft.
We all have our roles to play. Forgive me for asking. And if it's too much, just let me know.
Oh, no, Francis. You can ask me anything.
Aren't you sweet? Can I have those dog tags, if you don't mind?
Why?
If I could go back and collect a memento, I would, although that seems to be behind us. I am owed an apology, or not that I am owed one, I'm to owe an apology, moreover. I think it would be an act of good faith, if you will.
And she sort of moves her neck up and approaches you. You can take them.
I want to very gently take them, like knuckles brushing against skin, removing.
She shivers from head to toe.
You were doing me a great favor with this. At least I anticipate it. They're not going far. If you wish them back, I'm sure Carter will give them back.
Oh, I have plans for a more suitable memento for Birdsong.
It's fair. I am sorry.
No, you're not. But it's okay.
Give her just a light little kiss on her cheek.
So that's what that feels like. Thank you, Francis.
Thank you, Farina.
She goes over and sits down in a corner, pulls her legs up to her chest, just lays her head down, and doesn't move.
I'm gonna go clean up a bit. And I'm gonna open the door and poke my head out and see where Carter went. See if I can see him while also making sure not to be seen.
Oh yeah, he just went. He like just basically just picked a room and just went there.
Cool. I'm gonna make my way to Ophelia's room.
You approach the door. What are you doing, Carter?
I'm just hanging out. Like my door's open. Like, oh look, a futon. That's what I'm talking about. Ah.
And what's Archie doing?
Pacing menacingly. Legit sitting there thinking, he's like, I'm not afraid of anything. I've said it's a lot of that.
You approach the door, Lydia. What do you do?
I'm going to very quietly, so as not to notify anybody else that I am going in here, open the door.
The door opens. She's standing there, her sword in hand. Well, I didn't think it was going to be you.
Hey, look, I'm not looking for a fight. I just want to talk.
So she's going to use Auspex on you. Are you trying to dissimulate your true intentions?
Okay, great.
You can, if you want, if you're trying to dissimulate your true intentions, you can make a manipulation and subterfuge roll. And if you're not, you can just... You're not?
No.
Okay. She looks at you. She looks at you for a second. Her eyes dart over to the corner of the loft, and she kind of arches an eyebrow and goes, "That's interesting." And then comes back to you. Come on in. You know,
Thanks.
the whole thing about vampires needing to be invited is not true, right?
I know, but I respect my elders, and I close the door.
I think Carter would disagree, but...
Yeah, well, depending on if they deserve it.
Well,
listen, I'm not really interested in being the kid caught in the divorce with the Cardinal and everything.
mm-hmm.
I can guarantee you that Carter is going to try and stake you and bring you back to him. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't have any interest in doing that. In point of fact, I think it would be in your best interest, and quite frankly, in my best interest, for us to bring you back to the Cardinal and for you to kill him yourself.
But I haven't decided yet if that's what I want to do.
I understand. But you know that I'm not here to lie and manipulate you. I think whatever the Cardinal is planning is, even for a Sabbat, fucked up and self-serving.
Is that your pitch then?
That's my pitch, because quite frankly, I have been through a lot, And I don't really have any fucks left to give, so I'm not going to lie to you about anything.
But you will tell me that you want me to go and murder the Cardinal for you.
I don't want you to do it for me.
Oh, then why are you asking me to do it?
Because I think that it would also serve you. And I think that, quite frankly, and I look at the very menacing sword, that you would be a better hand than I would at this task.
But the question remains, if you're not doing it for you, who are you doing it for?
I saw something with Francis at the blood bank in the basement.
The blood bank and Gary?
Yeah.
Okay.
I saw something that, quite frankly, based on everything I've seen in my lifetime, was pretty fucked up. And I think, and I know how crazy it sounds, that the long night is actually coming. And I think that Santiago has something to do with it. And I think we could be very well served by taking him out of the equation.
The long night?
Yeah, the long night.
Oh, child. Have you any idea of what's happening currently in the Middle East? You are worried about a gang fight on the street corner in Chicago when the whole of creation is about to fall apart. And I don't mean necessarily next year or in 10 years, but what are years to the likes of us? The antediluvians, some of them at least, are waking up. There is nothing else that matters. Because once some of them awake, the only thing that will slake their thirst is kindred blood. These are the oldest, most powerful, most wicked, most alien, hungriest creatures that have ever walked this earth. And they are waking. Again, perhaps not next year, perhaps not even in 10 years. But it's bad enough that the Black Hand is calling all their fighters back. We do not serve the Sabbat anymore. This is happening right now. If you were a human being, I would say in your generation. The Cardinal, his plans, they're nothing. They are a sunflower that will be reduced to less than nothing in the nuclear explosion of the awakening of the antediluvians. All you have left, Lydia, all you have left is to find what measure of peace and pleasure you can find in the years you have left, because there is nothing after that. There is nothing. They will rise and we will fight them, and they will either slay us or we will all die slaying them. The long night, if it is even a thing, is a temporary eclipse. Gehenna is the final darkening of the sun. So,
Wow.
what will you do in your last nights?
I've got a couple ideas. Anyway. Have a good night.
You as well.
I leave and go back to the room.
Anybody else do anything in that time?
I think Carter does his best from where he's at to try and listen to the conversation.
I would say you probably got picked up some of it.
Yeah.
That's what you do.
I think Carter... Sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, Carter probably just lays there on the futon waiting to see Lydia leave the room.
Which she does.
I think he would just give her a knowing smile.
And then I walk away.
She can't resist me.
Anybody else want to do anything before the sun rises up and you're semi-forced to get some sleep? You have time.
Goodness, I'm torn between pestering Ophelia and throwing these dog tags at Carter, frankly.
You know, one does not prevent the other.
That's fair. It's just a lot of time. I think we're gonna start with approaching Carter. Did you find a separate room, or are we also?
Yeah, there's like an open area, and then on the other side there's like a den, and there's
sure.
remnants of some furniture there or something, and he's just lying on it.
In particular, after
you have no clue where he got it, but he's got a Miller Lite in his hand. You have no clue where it comes from.
It's unimportant.
Prison pocket.
If there's a door to close, I'd like to close it.
Sure.
Carter. Long night. I won't keep you.
All right.
I know we haven't known each other too terribly long.
I think at that, Carter stands up and he's just kind of he's doing the whole holding his beer like this at his side, right? And just kind of go on.
That to say, I don't apologize often. At the time, I thought we were all running the same direction. I didn't realize someone had fallen. I thought we were all on track. Of any of us to fall, it shouldn't have been Birdsong. And I'm sorry.
Carter takes steps closer to where he's within arm's reach.
Stand ground. Eye contact.
Well, he did what he needed to do. That's the important part.
Good soldier. We tend to keep good folk around, at least as good as any of us can be.
I think he gets within breath distance.
At that point, lifting the dog tags, like balanced on one finger, dangling.
You see him reach up from his waist with his talons out, like retracting them as he grabs it. Genuine offer.
I think you and I are far more alike than either of us would like to give credit to. And I think we could do some awfully bloody business together.
He takes the dog tags and puts them around his neck, and he gets like right within an inch and just breathes her in, like a dog sniffing.
Going to do like a, I say a playful nip, right? Not actually trying to bite you, just a little, as you get a little too close.
It doesn't deter him. And he just smells. Yeah. You could be useful. Always worth it to have a snake in the grass. And he gives you a peck on the cheek. And he says, "This means more to me than you'll ever know. Now get the fuck out of my room."
Putting glasses back on, a little chuckle. Of course. Sorry to intrude.
As you like open the door to go to leave, he just says real loud, "Nah, we ain't fucking."
I don't care.
No one believes that's what you were talking about.
You just hear like a belch come out from the room.
This is the worst sleepover I've ever been to.
Is it me? Is it that I'm undesirable? I don't understand why that couldn't be possible. Archie, can you explain?
It's definitely not you. It's 1,000% not you.
It's not you.
I'm never gonna get used to that.
I kind of like it.
If Archie's free, though.
He storms out of the room, goes into there, and he goes, "Listen, okay, I don't know what you think this is, but unless you fucking forget who dropkicked the shit out of that thing who was on your back, I'm not a fighter. You can just," and then it just fucking goes off. Like, it's just
Like,
unheard.
as he's going off, you actively see Carter like, yeah.
And I don't understand why you think that this is something that we are going to.
And another thing. Is this enemies to lovers plus there's only one bed?
Jeez.
Yeah, we're gonna fade to black here because it's not that kind of stream, but
Is it not Bleakseason? Is it not that kind of stream?
hey. Anything else? As that rages on the other side, and at some point you're not clear if they're talking, fucking, or fighting. There's like, the sounds could go either way. It's unclear and will remain unclear.
I do think I'm not going to go bother Ophelia. I'm going to sit next to Verena, though, just shoulder to shoulder style, and look over at Lydia. And how did that go?
Well, I know she knows more than we do, and I can't say I've ever trusted a vampire a day in my life, but I think we can trust her when she says that there are things bigger than the long night at work. She doesn't seem too concerned about it. I suggested that perhaps we do take her to the Cardinal, but not the way that Carter perhaps would want. I suggested we had her take the Cardinal out.
I'm definitely not opposed to this plan. Said it earlier, it's hard to be managed when we don't have a manager.
Right.
But she thinks there's more important, which honestly is probably true. But she needs one more death, right?
Right. The Cardinal will count for a lot. Plus, I'm still fucking pissed that he was just latching on like a barnacle inside my fucking sweet boy, in reference to Archie.
So how much of that do you know, though? Because
We saw it.
I think you were in the pit when that happened.
We saw it happen, though. Didn't we
When
see
the
it happen?
when the Cardinal came out, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but when the Cardinal came out of Archie and had his discussion with the priestess and then fucked off, I think all three of you were in the hole having your little.
Shit.
Oh no, Lydia was the only one you saw it. She was the first
Yeah,
one.
Lydia. Yeah,
Lydia
Lydia
saw
was,
it? Okay.
I
Lydia
think
was
I
the
did
only
see
one
it.
who saw it. Yeah.
Okay. Thanks, Jacob. Thanks, everybody.
Perfect.
Sorry.
That's definitely going
Wait.
to be a good clarification point from Francis. I'm sorry, what?
There was some fucked up shit, and I think the whole reason why. Quick question, storyteller. Do I know about Archie being chosen as leader? I'm trying to remember if Cato knows that or if
I
Lydia
think it
knows
had come
that.
out. Yeah, it had come out.
Right.
Right, Lydia, you, sorry, Francis, you told everyone at some point that.
No, I didn't.
No.
I just told. He said that. She said that. He said. I told Archie. I think Archie maybe told Lydia.
Archie told Lydia after we saw their sire and we were away from everybody and we had chased the car as far
Okay,
as we could.
all right.
That's right.
Awesome.
Okay. Sorry.
That's
I'm
the problem
clarifying
with
what
playing.
information Cato knows and what information Lydia
The
knows.
problem of playing after every 2 weeks, you're like,
Yeah. Santiago was a tag along inside Archie, which is probably the reason why he wanted Archie to lead, because he wanted to lead. And I don't know about you, but I'm a little fucking sick of the Cardinal.
I think definitely the Cardinal's growing a little too proud of himself. Certainly. It's unfortunate that we became errand boys for him. How do we get her to see him as the last death? Is the real question.
I don't know. I, for once, tried being just honest and expressing my concerns and was met with. She seems to think that Gehenna is upon us already.
Oh, you were honest? Classic mistake.
I know. That's why I'm wondering if maybe you need to step in.
This is helpful. I can try. Worst case, she's just going to say no.
Yeah.
But what are friends for, right?
Right.
All right, this seems like fun. I'm gonna pop up and give at least one last effort here to Ophelia dear, if she's not sleeping.
no. You knock at the door, you open the door, they're still like fight fucking in the other room, or it's kind of quiet now, actually. It's
Cute.
really quiet now. So you don't know what's going on.
Uh-oh.
Archie is a very tender lover.
I brought this upon myself.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, moving past.
Do you knock? What do you do?
Yeah, it's gonna be a knock and pretty much a swift entry. Close the door again.
Oh, that's more like it.
Still not here to kill you. Not my. I mean, it's all of our fortes. It doesn't matter.
Mhm.
You already talked to the lovely Lydia.
Mhm.
Heard her proposal.
Mhm.
And I heard from you that it's small fry beneath you. Is that what I'm understanding?
No,
Oh, please.
that's not what I said. I said that I was trying to make up my mind.
Oh. That's right. Because you need a fifth death.
For my own personal, professional
Integrity.
feeling of accomplishment, yes.
What's your reasoning to not kill him?
I don't know yet. I'm still thinking about it.
People being pushy doesn't help, does it?
I'm going to make up my mind on my own. There's really little that any of you can do. I'm just trying to decide which one has been the biggest pain in my ass.
Can you give me the brief again? I'm here to help, really. And serve my own purposes, I'll be honest.
Obviously. Which part do you wish me to reiterate?
Moreover, just, listen, I'm usually not so heavy-handed. It's been a long day, and I really want to see this man dead.
Okay. The Cardinal sent us here. Well, no. The Black Hand sent us here. The Cardinal tacked on something on top of the deal. And because of what the Cardinal tacked on top of it, my packmates are dead, and then I was encased in cement for several years, and I was forced to endure the inane ravings of a black spiral dancer called Bag Lunch.
Yes. So why don't we want to kill him for this?
Because there's the fact that Reina Lindverm, or Charlotte Rojas, the regent, whatever she calls herself these days, torched my 4 packmates.
What if I offer to help with Reina?
No, that's interesting.
I need to do a little bit more research on the matter, but...
Oh, so that was just an empty promise.
No, I'm going to be jobless here soon. I'm going to need something to occupy myself.
So, what, you gonna give me a call? Let me know.
It's more that I will do it. Help me with a little bit of information. You kill the Cardinal, and take care of Reina.
How are you going to do that? If you don't mind me saying so, you are, well, I don't know, I guess it's a bit of a toss-up, but you're not very formidable. The Tremere Regent is surrounded by a group of people, some of which are Tremere, some who are not, but she has built a group of followers that are directly loyal to her and not the clan. She has one of the foremost Sabbat hunters the Camarilla has in Hayden Croft on her side. She managed to destroy 4 members of a pack of Black Hand.
Ophelia, what makes you so confident that Frances Bancroft is even my real name?
Oh, I would expect it's not, but I really have no clue what it would be.
I'm good at getting places. This has been a fun project for me. Spreading the good word. Trying to see what people can be pushed to. Some folks here are a little bit harder than others, and that's fine.
Is that what you're trying to do with me?
No. You have a very scary sword, and you can do me a service of killing the Cardinal. It's an exchange, really, more than anything else.
And you have a forked tongue.
I don't yet, but I know someone who could probably help me with this.
Do you know what it's like to be hunted by a member of the Black Hand, Francis?
Admittedly, no.
You know how dangerous you imagine the daytime to be?
Certainly.
And how you find safety and a feeling of calmness only at night? Well, imagine you don't have that either. Because the sun hunts you during the day, and then at night the Black Hand comes.
heard you're all terribly efficient, though.
Well, we do what we can. I'll tell you what, Francis.
Mm-hmm.
I know you are lying to me. I know you will attempt to, in somehow, betray me or squelch out of this deal. But here's the promise I'm going to make you. I will kill the Cardinal. And I will make sure you take care of the Tremere region.
The thing about being a liar is that sometimes you have to tell the truth. But I see your threat, I see your promise, and I think we have a deal.
Call your friend over, the little weird one.
You're going to need to be more specific.
The short one, that's the Simshi, I guess.
Oh, of course.
Yeah,
You'd be
call
nice to her.
over.
She's had a rough couple days.
She's a Simshi. She doesn't care.
I think you're wrong. But I'll send her your way all the same.
Well, call her and you come with.
Oh, so it's going to be a party. Great. Poke head out. Call. Do you mind?
Verna detaches herself from Lydia.
Oh God, the suction cup sound is just.
She comes over, closes the door behind her. A few moments later, and I'll explain to you what happened during the break, because we're going to go on break in a minute here. A few moments later, Francis will open the door and will say, I've staked her. And how did that happen? Well, we'll find out after the break. Apparently, we have not been suspended by Twitch yet.
Nice.
The night is still young.
The night is still young, but we only have a little bit of time left in this finale. So let's get right into it. Before the break, all of you were trying to get Ophelia to do what you wanted her to do. Carter wanted her staked and brought to the Cardinal. Lydia tried to convince her to just go and kill the Cardinal, but then got, counter-argumented by Ophelia, and now is not too sure what she wants. Carter and Archie played Parcheesi, and Frances went to try and convince, in her own way, Ophelia to go and kill the Cardinal. Did I miss anything?
I think you nailed it.
Awesome. Someone entertain the audience for a second. I have to write a message.
That's what I can do. Are you
So
not
the best
entertained?
structure for a grilled cheese sandwich is definitely going to be a thick slice of homemade brioche that's normally made into a bun. But what I like to do is I like to make a compound butter with garlic,
Ooh.
a little bit of sea salt, and some chives, and I'll use that. See, I'm a butter on both sides of the bread type guy because I want the inner melting to have the same flavor of the butter that the outside's going to do. So your structure is going to be absolutely not Andrew, but you are the most qualified in my head. What I like to do is I like to have a contrast of cheese with different melting points. Mustard is always good. You want to have a hard cheddar in between your two melty pieces of cheeses so that there's a structure as the heat transfers through the sandwich. Now, contrast is huge, right? You got your melty cheese, your salty, the garlic, everything in there. You're going to need something that's going to cut it. A little bit of acid. Me, personally, in my house over here in the hood where I live, a couple sliced tomatoes in between. It's not bad. It's not bad at all. Am I good?
So earlier I read some very suggestive poetry, and I literally don't think that anyone found my poetry more suggestive than what you just did.
How can I say something
especially
so
that one there?
Yet
Kato,
also correct?
Look at that face. Are you gonna need a moment? You're also like, they lost their voice. Look.
You said
you always season your tomatoes. Sorry.
You said multiple kinds of cheeses, and I was like, go on. I'm listening.
And that's just like the prologue to anything that is dealing with sandwich for me. We can
Sandwich foreplay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Varley Gem, for those wonderful subs.
Hey.
Thank you so much, Varley. You're absolutely amazing. We really appreciate you. Thank you very much. And on that cheese discourse, you are all doing whatever you're doing. You hear some kind of fracas. You hear Francis scream. So I'm going to retcon a tiny bit what I said before the break. You are going to hear Francis scream in pain, and then you're going to hear some more sort of fracas, and you're going to hear Vorena say, she wouldn't say help, but she would scream out, "Here!" What do you do?
She screams out, "Hair?"
No, here, like, come here.
Oh, okay.
Well, so much for Afterglow. What's going on?
Jesus.
So Carter runs out of the room putting a shirt on. What do you do, Lydia?
I'm gonna shadow bamf my way over because I'm sus because it's Francis. So.
And what's Archie doing? They're making a grilled cheese.
That's what he was doing. Making a grilled cheese, stark naked, and just kind of walks over with the sandwich. What? It's mature themes. Put in that content warning.
Note to self: wants a grilled cheese while naked.
I mean, naked's fine. The grilled cheese just.
You're a vampire.
Can't have it over the top. You all rush there. I'm going to say, Carter, you get there first. You kick open the door. When you do, you see Francis in a certain state of disrobement, holding her arm. You see the severed arm on the ground, blood spurting everywhere. You see Ophelia on the ground with a stake piercing her chest, and you see Vorena on top of Ophelia, just like destroying her with her vicissitude, just caving in her shoulder and just sort of pushing at her, and she seems really angry. She's got blood everywhere covered on top of her.
Whoa.
So first of all, how much blood do y'all have? Anyone kicking around 3 or less?
Mercifully, no.
Francis
barely just made it.
Okay, Francis, you're going to take, from this, you're going to take 2 aggravated wounds.
Okay.
And you're going to lose 2 blood points.
Sounds good.
We're going to go around. I'm going to ask what each of you do. So, Carter, you get to the door. I'm going to say that Lydia's kind of just behind you, and Archie's coming down the hallway with his monster. And I'll let you figure out what the monster is. Lydia's on the ground, blood spurting from her severed limb. And Vorena is trying to just fold Ophelia in on herself. So I'm going to go around and ask you each what you want to do, and then we'll do that. So Carter, what do you want to do?
Well, didn't see that one coming. Nice, kid. He goes in and like literally like takes his shirt off, right, and like hands it to her and be like, "You got a little red on you."
So, Francis, your arm is like severed like here, and it's
Sure.
spurting all over. Give me a D6, a roll.
Sure. A 2.
That's your left arm.
Yay!
What is Lydia going to do?
I'm gonna check in with Francis and go, you need a little blood to tide you over, or?
Yeah, I wouldn't fucking mind that. Fuck's sake.
Sure. Yeah. And I do a little claw out, like, slit and offer it to her.
Slip.
Slip. How much blood do you have, Francis, after losing the 2 points?
Let's see. I think I was at 7, so I'm at like 2 points now.
You're at 5?
I saw wounds from previous, so I had 2 blood points used from last time. So I'm down 4.
You're down to, well, what's the number you're at now?
3.
You're at 3?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so how about you, as you taste Lydia, what is your generation difference between the two of you, or are you the same generation?
I'm 9th.
10.
All right. So
as far as I know now.
As the blood touches your lip, Francis, the scent and power of the blood, a generation lower than yours, you are already hungry, you are in pain, it is kindred blood, it hits your lips, and you see red. And all you want to do is bite and drink as much as you can. So go ahead and give me a self-control roll. Do you have self-control? Yes, you do.
Oh, yeah.
Give me a self-control roll. So you're going to roll 5 dice.
Okay.
And I am going to say a couple things are going to happen here. Actually, before you do that, you're going to... Okay, no, you're good. So you're good on your path. So go ahead and make me that. Normally, I would say your target is going to be... Normally, I would say your target is going to be... Hold on, I'm coming at you. You there?
Take time. I can let you know.
Normally, I would say your target is 7 because you're a generation lower. I'm going to say your target is 8, which is difficult.
Would like to use a night move for success to eradicate a 1.
Okay. So hold on. You only need to. You can only use the night move to eradicate a botch.
Oh.
Otherwise, you can buy a success with a night move.
Gotcha. Okay. Well then,
which basically can kind of negate the 1.
Out of 5 dice, I have 3 successes.
3 successes. All right. You see it right away in her eyes, Lydia. The second your blood touches her lips, you see like that beast just comes roaring right at the window of her eyes and is right there, and you see her fangs come out and she grabs your arm and she bites down. You were gonna just like drip some blood, but she just bites down and her fangs sink into you. You're gonna take an aggravated point of damage, Lydia, as her fangs bite into you and she starts to draw. And as you're seeing that, you'll see that she's fighting and trying to regain control, and she'll be able to. Give me a D6 roll, Lydia. Francis.
I got a 1.
All right, you get 1 blood point out of it before you have to pull yourself away, because you know that if you continue, you're not going to be able to stop. You rip out of Lydia's arm, blood just trails all over her, skin is ripped. And you're like, holy fuck, that was good. Holy fuck, that was literally the best thing you've ever had.
I grab her by the face and slam the side of her head onto the ground and I go, you do that again and I will fucking kill you. And I let her go.
Sorry. I got carried away. I'm sorry.
I look at my arm and I go, Verena, please help.
So Verena's still trying to fold Ophelia in on herself. What's Archie doing? We didn't get to Archie. Tell me what you're doing, Archie.
Well, if Francis wasn't going to be able to control themselves, I was going to bust a rear naked chokehold. But being that Lydia's got it, he's just going to kind of watch what's going on with Verena and Ophelia, and he's just going to ask, like, out loud, like, so you did this yourself?
Before you get into it, I just want to get a few things off because I saw a bunch of things go by. And I want to thank people for bits and donations. Silverest gave Alex a hail, so you have one night move, Alex from Silverest. Then we have Andrew, who bought everyone a night move. So everyone gets to add a night move. And then I saw Scottish Jeff gave a hail to Cato, to Kurt, to Ian. So you each get another one. And then Andrew bought another round for everyone. That all down. So thank you so much, Scottish Jeff. Thank you so much, Andrew. Thank you so much, Silver. Did everyone get that? You good? Awesome sauce. Thank you very much. We really appreciate your support, gang, everybody. Very awesome. Go ahead and you. All right. So Archie, say your line again, please.
So you did this yourself? Own volition. Yeah?
What does it look like? Of course I fucking did. Was it the wisest choice? Apparently not.
Yeah, apparently.
Okay. Your bones crack.
So what's the... Oh.
Verena, stop it. Drop it.
She looks at you, her eyes are red, her fangs are out. She's like on the vent.
Verena. Get it the fuck together.
Verena, spit that out. You ain't know where it's been.
I don't know. I feel like
she opens her mouth and some undescribable blob of reddish flesh falls out of her mouth.
Thank you.
She heard Francis. Just a little more, please.
No.
We need her not as an ash pile. Thank you.
She looks at the two of you, folds a bone in a little bit further inside.
Stop it.
Verena, listen. When Lydia and I agree on something, you gotta stop.
Pick a fine fucking time to agree, the two of you.
Why don't
Mommy
you?
and Daddy are telling you to stop. Come here right now.
Right? Why don't you go lick Francis and make her feel better?
Backs away from Ophelia, and as she does, you can see that her hands were super elongated and were all the way, and she just slowly pulls that out. Blood drips out. The bones kind of push back inside her hand. She turns over. She goes over to Francis. She takes your hand. She removes the clothing, the shirt that Carter gave you. She looks at you and goes, do you want it to hurt or not to hurt?
Just make it quick, please.
She wraps her hand around your stump. And she reaches up, puts a hand around your neck, pulls you close, puts her lips on yours, and as she kisses you, you feel your entire wound close at the end of your stump. Then she pulls back. That's better. And she lets go of your stump and sits down next to you and just rubs your back.
What the fuck just happened?
Miscalculation is what happened.
No. What the fuck just happened?
We needed to convince her somehow. And I thought, I don't know, maybe a fun little time could do it. We invited Verena in, and I thought that would be enough of a distraction. And it wasn't.
You thought a three-way would get... I'm sorry, what?
I mean, it'll distract most folks. I'm just saying, like.
And the choice of people out of everyone.
Realistically, like, a solid plan, kiddo. Like, for real.
Just trying here. Well, clearly wasn't the smartest move I've ever had. But at least we can get her to the Cardinal now.
Don't worry, it'll grow back.
Or has it?
Thank you so much, Twisted Fates, for all those gifted donations. That's amazing. Thank you. We really, really, really appreciate your support. Thank you. All our little dark little hearts here.
We love you, North.
Don't worry, Francis. I've lost more limbs and dicks than I care to count, and it all grew back.
God, I didn't need to know that. Anyway, so you thought a little three-way, and then what happened? She just said, I know. Vampires must be into some weird blood play, and lopped your hand off? Are you fucking kidding?
She was a little mad about me trying to stake her, okay?
I mean, consent is key.
God. Why do we send the... Never mind. Are you okay?
Doing great. Thank you, though.
The sun's coming up.
Fuck. All right. Well, she's not fucking going anywhere. Everybody try and get some sleep.
What are we going to do when she awakes?
Oh, she's not fucking going anywhere. That's the for sure thing.
She's steak. She'll be good for the trip.
I can thank Verena for that.
Thanks, Verena.
Good
stay
girl.
with her.
Don't eat her.
Verena, and I get down and I look her right in the eye. You are not allowed to turn her into a handbag. You can stay here, but you cannot touch her at all.
She looks at Francis.
Oh, I would listen to Lydia. 100%.
Okay.
Promise?
Yes, mommy.
Good girl.
You will all retreat to some of the other rooms. You will find the sun is just about to come up, so you will make your way, lay down, go to sleep. The next night comes around, darkness falling once again on the city. In a loft somewhere built on top of an old mental hospital that was destroyed and that apparently houses some kind of strange Malkavian labyrinth. Nothing weird going on there. 5 kindred, Sabbat, a pack, wake up in this loft with a member of the Black Hand. Stake. What do you do? Hey, Miko. Thanks for the gifted son. Cheers, mate.
All right, well, okay. I assume we're not taking the bus back.
That's still probably the easiest way back, I'll be honest.
I mean, it ain't gotta be.
What are other options?
We can get my rig.
Alright. Probably easier to get out of here than get in.
For sure. And he straight up has a Pork Chop Express fucking kicking ass and hauling ass fucking type fucking Mack semi truck that has a trailer attached to it.
Nice.
Yeah, it
Nice.
fits.
Carter, a couple of night moves. A night move from Myriad.
Thank you, Myriad.
So it's going to take you a while to get your truck, because I'm assuming your truck's not in the Chicago area.
No, it is. It's in the shipping area. I keep it here.
Okay.
That's why I didn't have a vehicle in Gary.
All right. So you will manage to do that. You'll manage to get the rig back here about halfway through the night. And you can load her in there. You can probably find something in the building to make some kind of makeshift box, or however you want to do it. I don't know. let's go around and tell me what your characters do in this first part of the night, up and until the time when perhaps the body gets sold, because I don't know if any of you have like different plans, but let's go around and sort of just give me an idea of what your character is going to do in the first few hours of this night until Carter comes back with the rig. Anyone, start.
Archie takes a moment and he tells everybody, I'm just gonna go for a walk. We have time. Just stretch my legs. This is stuffy. And when he takes the walk, he goes back to the area in which they came out of. He doesn't go in, but he just kind of stands at the mouth of where it was, and he just looks at it. Like deep contemplation, just is almost mesmerized by the entire idea of what happened last night. And then with everything that happened with the Cardinal and what he found out, and I don't follow anybody. I'm an owner. I'm an equal owner. I don't follow behind Lydia. Like it's those thoughts that are running behind his head, and
You hear, of course you don't, darling. And you forge your own path.
They don't know what they're talking about.
They don't
this
know you
way.
like I do. I've seen so deep inside of you. And see everything you truly are.
That's right. I hold everything.
What can I do for you?
You could help me show them. A little spectacle always helps.
Well, I like some of them.
I only like one of them.
So, tell me, Archibald, what do you want to see happen?
I want to see them fall.
All of them?
No. Just the ones that disrespected me. A lesson needs to be taught, whether they realize it or not.
And if I do this for you, Archie, will you come back here? Take the place of the one you killed. I need someone here.
Seems like an uneven trade.
I'm offering to make you the leader.
That's why it's uneven. You do something for me and then you give me more.
There are demands of those who follow me. I have plans, things I need done.
I'm not in it to be anyone's errand boy.
I'm not an errand boy. Just someone who is privy to the plan. Knows how they can help further them.
Power is what you're offering. Strength.
You already have that. I'm merely offering you the courage to use it.
And you're the first to recognize.
I see things differently. Been around a long time. I've seen empires rise and fall. I've seen the mighty become the poor and downtrodden, the weak become the killers, masters.
I hold no master anymore. And that's what I want.
Very well. Some of it you may not like.
What else is there?
Go back to them. When you see them, approach the ones you hate. Kiss them on the cheek, and I will know them.
Archie turns from the entrance. Pretty sure gentle wind blows under his coat that he, for some reason, still has. And just a small glint of a smirk from his rose gold-plated fronts that he has as he walks away.
As you're walking away, thank you so much, everyone, for keeping the high turn going. I saw Little Bones donating a whole bunch of bits. Everyone's got a couple more 9 moves. Miko also, and then Varl came in hot with a few more. I think it was Varl. Yeah, Varl came in hot with a few more gifted sub. Thank you so much, everybody. And Northwolf, Twisted Fates, with some of the bits also. Thank you so much. So great. It's about to get spicy, yes. As that's going on, you're going to get the truck. Kurt, are you doing anything specific or just getting the truck?
I think that Carter is going to kind of take a little longer time than necessary. And he's going to take his truck by James's building for just a moment. And I think he's going to look up at James's building, knowing that James can't see him. And just so long, old chap. And then kicks it back into gear and keeps rolling.
You'll return back to the lofts. You're at the condos. Your heart filled with memories of James, and it's not the first time I would assume you've said goodbye to him. Who wants to go next?
Well, Archie's on that walk. I'll take that brief moment to grab Lydia as a small aside. Things are going to be taken care of. Deals made, struck, etc. It's going according to plan.
How do I know I can trust you?
Oh, you can't. I appreciate you asking the question, though. Although I didn't really prefer to have my arm chopped off. Consider that perhaps the most telling of it all.
Yeah.
I can promise that the deal doesn't involve you unless you wish it to.
No, I've been meaning to ask you about this for a while. That whole thing in the basement of the blood bank and you holding the keys to my creator. Whatever the fuck that meant.
I agree.
You want to tell me a little bit more about that?
If I had anything to tell, I would offer it.
Yeah, I don't believe you.
It's okay. It's been a rather rocky time, and I understand. There's no reason for you to believe me on this, but I have no reason to keep them from you. I don't know them. I can tell you they clearly have a strong connection to you. And as much as I'd love to touch that noogie little center there that has potential, I have nothing to offer at the moment.
It said something about you holding the key.
And that we were linked.
Right. Because you're holding the key. And I don't really fucking like it when someone is holding my key.
Should I procure it? I promise I'll give it to you.
Sure. And I take her pinky and I go, and if you do anything to go back on this here little pinky promise, not only will I cut your other hand off, I will kill you. That's twice I've threatened to take your life. Okay?
I find you wholly terrifying. You're not someone I wish to fuck around and find out with, Lydia. In fact, I quite admire you. So if I can avoid more bad blood than necessary, I shall.
Great.
Well, this is fun. All right, I will let you go to your evening.
Sure.
Storyteller, is there an opportunity for Archie to come back and have a quick aside?
Yeah, absolutely. Just before you do, though, thank you so much, everyone. Blowing up the chat. We're at a level 6 hype train, blowing up the record. Chaotic Good Gaming coming in with a whole bunch of bit donations. 2 more night moves for everyone. At this point, you probably have more than enough to just make every rule you do for the rest of the game a success. Who else threw in on that? Brungal, thank you so much for the donation subs, bro. Really appreciate it. Appreciate all of you. Like, this is crazy. Like, I can't remember a night like that here before. You're all absolutely amazing. And Northwolf taking us over the top with a whole bunch. I'm gonna cry. Cry a little bit. My friends, look, we obviously, Miko and I and Beth and Deb, the people here at Folk&Myth work hard to do these, but this is nothing without the people who play these games. And I think that I want to say thank you, guys. Like, this series that we've had has been very successful on many fronts, and the vast majority of the reason for that is all of you and your play, and you've created such indelible characters, and the people love it. And I'm speaking for Miko and Deb and Beth and myself, we really appreciate you all giving your time, coming here, and being just so damn good and so much fun every time. And it's clear that our followers here and our fans absolutely love you all. You're all amazing. So thank you so much for being here and helping us put on these little shows. And thank you to everyone who keeps popping in the chat. You're all just so amazing. I mean, people will tell you I have no heart, and I have a heart stone, but I'm feeling a little mushy inside right now. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Just like Francis is lying, I can see through you.
I'm not lying. It's true. Love you all. Oh, you mean lying about my cold heart?
Correct.
Okay, good. All right. Yeah, absolutely. Archie, come back and have yourself a moment.
Awesome. Perfect. So, kind of seeing the tail end of that interaction, kind of gives a look towards Lydia, but then walks over towards Francis and goes, a moment? I feel like we have the time.
Oh, sure, why not?
Right. You know what my favorite game is?
No.
That's right, you wouldn't. It's Truth or Dare. It's definitely one of my favorites. Fancy around?
Sure.
Beautiful. Truth or Dare, Francis?
Truth.
When we get back into Gary, and after we've handed Ophelia over to the Cardinal, because that is your plan, what do you gain?
From handing Ophelia over to the Cardinal?
In everything. This entire vacation, if you will, that we've had from Garrison.
What makes you think I gain anything?
Answer the question, Francis.
This has been a very fun hobby for me.
Hobby. Your turn.
Truth or dare?
Truth.
Why the change? Where'd you find your confidence?
It wasn't found, Francis. It's always tucked away in the back pocket, but in most cases, with certain people, it's not needed. I simply grew tired. It's the truth.
That's hard.
You wouldn't believe. Truth or dare, Francis?
Ooh, another round. Delightful. Dare.
Dare. You still have something on the side of your cheek. Do you mind?
Sure.
Beautiful. And Archie leans in and gives a gentle peck.
I'm collecting so many of these, my goodness. Regular bell at
I'm
the
sure
ball.
you'll have more. I'm sure you'll have more to come. That was riveting. Wonderful. I'll talk to you later. And then turns around and goes over to Lydia.
He can't resist me.
Oh, friend, how are you feeling?
Oh, feeling a lot of things. How about you?
Completely exhausted.
Yeah.
Question. You remember when we started Tooth and Fang?
Yeah.
Some haphazard idea to gain our little slice of control in Gary. You remember that?
I do.
Where did it go left for us?
I thread my fingers into his hand and I hold it and squeeze it. I don't know. Being in Garrison, away from everything we could have been. After a while, that's got to eat at you. Stagnation.
I don't feel like you feel the same stagnation as I do.
I think maybe I'm just a little bit better at hiding it, love.
I think the world of you, Lydia. Your energy, your presence, even in this unlife, is so bright. And it's hard. I know it's hard for you to be able to put up that front, but it's even harder for some who have to sit in the shadow of what you cast. But a lot of us, mainly myself, we enjoy that. I mean, we are creatures of darkness, so it should be something that we're used to. But it is hard sometimes.
Sure.
Darling, if there was an opportunity for the both of us to grasp that type of power again, but it did mean that one of us had to cast a bigger shadow, would you be comfortable if the dice landed on you?
Archie, what are you getting at?
It's a simple question, my friend. If a shadow grew bigger than the light that you cast already, would you seek comfort in that darkness?
Darling, the darkness is where we thrive.
And it's unfortunate that's where we live.
Certainly
Would
no
you
changing
seek
that.
comfort?
It has been the only comfort I have had for nearly 100 years.
I'm so sorry. And he stands up, and he kisses her on the forehead, and he hesitates. And then he kisses her on both cheeks. It'll be over soon.
The fuck are you talking about?
We're almost done with this. Once we deliver Ophelia back to the Cardinal, it'll be over, and we can get back to our little slice of power.
Lydia's pulling back and looking at her longest standing friend and seeing exactly what is happening.
You seem tense.
Yeah. What happened to the Archie I knew, huh?
He got tired of everyone casting their own shadows as he grew blind in the darkness. It's funny. The sewers are the bottom. But for some reason, your Archie found his way to the top, the lower we sank. It will be over soon. You should already know. Oh, ruby eyes. I can see it.
I squeeze his hand. Quite a time it's been.
And it's just beginning. I'll go wait outside for our friend.
You don't have to wait very long. As you step outside, take a few deep breaths that you don't need to take, but it's hard to break certain habits. You see coming down the road the old Pork Chop Express pulling up right next to you. Engine brake, whole 9 yards. Waking everyone for a mile around. How you find Archie standing outside?
He jumps down. Waiting outside.
Is Ophelia going to be put in the trailer?
Probably best. Or we can put her in the cab and, stow her, I guess.
We can put her in the trailer. I'll sit back there with her.
Kid, you all right?
Would you like a real answer, or would you like to just finish this?
No, I would.
Clarify. Finish this or a real answer?
I would like a real answer.
Archie steps very close, similar to how Carter, he would know this, but above table, how Carter stepped really close to Francis within a breath. And he also takes in a deep inhale. And he gets real close to his ear and he goes, I guess I found my beast. And gives him a peck on the cheek too. And walks to the trailer.
Archie.
Yes, Carter?
And Carter very much walks up to him and he puts a hand on the side of his face. It's one thing to know it. It's another thing to deny it. But make sure you control it. Don't let
Carter,
that don't let that fear and that anger eat you up the way that it has.
Storyteller, I would like to use in this moment, and he was going to break you.
Yeah.
I would like to use Sense the Sin on Carter.
Yeah, and you can also, if you would, all of you check the video ninja chat. Asked a question in there for everyone, and you can go and use Sense the Sin now. What Sense the Sin does, it's a Bali power that Archie acquired when he took the Bali deal several episodes ago. What Sense the Sin does is it allows him with a perception and empathy perception and empathy test to discover what the best way to the fault or the vice or the weakness of someone. So you're going to roll your perception plus empathy. Carter, what's your self-control or instinct?
Okay, my instinct is a 3.
Okay, so you're gonna add 4 to that, so that's 7. So that's your target for your perception and empathy. I am going to allow you, if you want, to use 9 moves to make the roll, Archie, but I'm gonna give Carter the ability to match you and bid some of his own to cancel yours out.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me. I'd like to use one night move to give me an automatic success.
Carter, would you like to match him?
I need to roll dice, right?
Nope, you don't roll anything. You can just...
The only thing, I have 4 night moves, so the most I could do is cancel out 4 of them.
Well, you only spent 1 so far, right?
1.
Right, so you only need to spend 1 to cancel his 1.
Well, he's got 8 successes, right?
Yeah, I know, but
okay.
The 8 successes. Oh, so it's not gonna matter. He's got 8 successes. It's not gonna matter anyways.
Yeah.
So don't bother with it. Success indicates the Bali has gleaned insight into the subject's weakness. With 1 success, this information is like a low virtue, weak willpower. 2 might yield a beloved vice or casual secret. 3 or more yields a central derangement or formative trauma from the subject's past. I think I know what it is, Kurt.
Mm-hmm.
And it's what you just did, I would think, but that's up to you.
Mm-hmm.
So you want to tell him?
So his greatest trauma is that he left the Camarilla because his longtime lover / friend / army buddy / whatever you want to call it, when they were both anarchs, he chose the ivory tower instead of freedom. And he went in the opposite direction and chose the Sabbat, which he viewed as the ultimate freedom. And his name was James. And he was black.
Archie gives a gentle chuckle, another gleam of those fronts, and he looks you dead in the eye, and you can see that they are bead red, and he goes, "You never leave a pack member behind. Isn't that right, Carter?"
That's true.
So when did James start being not of your pack?
When he chose the other side.
Was it him who chose Carter? Or was it you?
No. It was him. It was always him.
Strong words from a deceptively weak man. You want to keep that hand?
He pats him on the face again. You've got bigger weaknesses than I do. It's good to know that you felt so small you had to drink the blood. But that's your choice. And now you gotta live with it. And he literally turns his back and walks off.
It's only a matter of time, friend. It's understood that you are afraid.
Many like you have come and gone, and more of you will come and go. That's all that there is. I ain't survived almost a century by dealing with shitheads like you sometimes.
No, you dealt by running. A
No,
deserter.
no, we generally just kill them. But unfortunately, you're useful, and Lydia likes you, and that's the only thing keeping you alive.
Space and opportunity, remember. Walks away.
You climb back upstairs. You find Lydia and Francis. Did Lydia and Francis do anything else while this was going on?
I like to imagine they're as far apart as possible, but that's just me.
I would like to use Sense the Sin on Francis.
Go for it. So you're going to roll your empathy plus perception. Francis, what is your self-control or instinct?
Let's see, my self-control is 5.
So it'd be 9.
Oh,
Targets are 9.
that sucks. But I have like over 10 night move. So
Remember, ones cancel successes.
right. I didn't get any ones, but I didn't hit any 9s.
So you could spend a 9 move to get an auto success, but then she can match you.
Yeah, I'd like to spend a night move to get an auto success.
Francis,
What am I doing?
do you want to spend a 9 move to cancel her 9 move?
No, because I want to see what this does. I should
I love
because
it.
it's a night move, but this seems really cool. So
Yeah, I love it, Alex. I love it, Alex. I love it so much, Alex, that I'm going to give you a 9 move.
woo!
Go ahead and tell us. And it was just one success. So with one success influence like a low virtue, a weak willpower, recent actions that have violated your path of ethics.
Sorry, one more time. I was reading chat.
So either one of your virtues that's low,
Mhm.
the fact that you have low willpower, if you have low willpower, or recent actions that you took that violated your path.
I will grant a low virtue, and that I have a low conviction.
Okay. Fine. Oh, fun. Okay. Just reading a quick thing.
Take your time.
Oh, well, it is the finale, right?
Yeah, come on.
Damn right
Let's
it
have some
is.
fun.
Damn
So,
right.
maybe we should tap into this now that I've done Sense the Sin and succeeded on it. Maybe we need to check out Fear the Void.
Ooh, what's that do?
All right. So I am going to... Fear the Void is a damaging attack. So I am going to...
Oh, shit.
Oh, it is.
Not so much
I
a
forgot about that.
damaging attack, but
I forgot about the fact that it's damaging,
it's
but it's
not that
mainly
it's
like
damaging, but it can affect you. So I am going to say that Francis is going to be aware that you're doing something to her. And I'm going to give you the opportunity to back off if you want. But if you activate this, you use this on, she's going to know you're doing something to her.
honestly, I think that the pack, the blood bond would make me not do it. So I'm sorry. I'm gonna retcon that and say no.
Okay.
In the future, though.
In the future, someone's getting Fear the Void because I am the void.
So anything else then? Or Carter's going to show up?
No, I'm just gonna file it away. I kind of figured she had low virtue overall.
What?
I look over at her. How's Verena doing? Just out of curiosity.
Yeah, no, you haven't checked on her in a while.
Are we all in the same room? I thought we were all in the same room.
I don't
also
know.
thought that.
She was in the room with Ophelia. I thought you were in DMA.
Yeah. No, I'm getting up and I'm going and I'm checking on that situation because I'm not entirely convinced that Verena didn't just consume her entire body.
When you go there, Verena's sitting exactly where you left her, staring at Ophelia. Are y'all having disagreements?
Baby girl, yes, we are.
I don't know why. We did what we were sent to do.
We did. But I think some people had other ideas as to what we were supposed to be doing.
But we've done everything we wanted to do. We could do this, and she lifts up her hand, and the fingers separate all individually, and the thumb also, and they all kind of splay out in different directions.
I know. And I think we might.
Your hand reforms.
All right. Come on.
Where are we going?
I would like you near while I spend a little time with Frances. That's all.
Are you afraid of her?
No, I just don't trust her.
I am afraid of her.
Why?
Because out of all of you, she's the only one who does the bad things because it's in her nature to do so, and not because she has anything to gain from it.
Yeah. That's why I don't trust her.
She gets up. Then stand next to you, looks up.
I thread my fingers, interlacing. There you go. Come on.
You feel the flesh and the bone meld as she takes your hand in hers, and the two hands fuse.
If it could be warm, it would be.
You come up, Carter. You find them. Was there something else, or was that just waiting for Carter? Okay. You come up, Carter. You find them standing there. Lydia and Verena are holding hands, and they're kind of standing a little bit away from Frances.
Hey, Verena, you mind helping me with the truck for a minute?
Sure, boss. And she unmerges her hand from yours. Lydia, as she does.
It's the suction thing, right?
But as she does, Lydia, you feel a stiffness in your joint, like there's something inside your skin more than there was before. She looks at you and winks. She goes down. Archie, what are you doing?
I'm waiting till they load Ophelia in the truck, and then I'm getting in the truck bed, like I said.
Okay. Carter, you step out of the apartment with Verena. Are we
Verena.
in the body?
Yeah. I'm curious, though. You want to do me a favor?
Sure, boss.
When this is all said and done, you want to find my kid? Archie's brought something to my attention. And I do think loose ends need to be tied up.
Speaking of loose ends, something I want to do first, though.
That's fine.
Your other kid, he's the one who got Birdsong killed. I'm going to go to his place. I'm going to wait for him. And when he shows up, I'm going to kill him. And then I'll come back and find you.
That's why I like you. Also, you're tracking those two knuckleheads are demons, right?
Aren't we all?
No, I mean in the truest sense. Don't mix your blood. Bad for your health. Archie decided to show his true nature to me.
My opinion is, Carter, he was showing it all along. You just weren't interested in looking.
This is a little bit different, girl, but you do you.
Shall we get the body?
Yeah, I got you.
Come back inside. Francis and Lydia do anything while they're outside?
No, just stand and wait.
They come back, they grab the body, wrap it up, haul it downstairs. You follow? Put the body in the back of the truck. Archie jumps in. Veranda looks at you, Carter, and says, I'll find you. And then she comes over to you, Lydia, takes your hand, the one that what she was holding earlier, and she says, keep this safe for me.
You bet, darling.
And she goes over to Francis. She gives you the shyest smile you've ever seen. She says, I really love you. And then she looks over her shoulder at Archie, frowns, and then runs off, and disappearing around a corner into a dark alley.
Fuck, someone's gonna think she's a dumpster cat.
So, three of you standing there, bodies in the back of the truck, Archie's jumped in the back. What do you do?
Get out of Dodge, yeah? About time.
Everyone climbs in?
Yeah.
Yeah, last second I'm gonna climb into the back. With
The truck
Archie.
takes off. If you want to do anything during the ride, do it now. Then I'm going to narrate this because it's 11:17.
Darling, what are you doing back here by yourself?
I like the quiet.
Yeah, you always did. Club was always too loud for you, huh?
Yeah. You know, I didn't even want to open that place. I have no idea how to run a business. I'm a showman.
I sit down next to Archie and kind of draw my knees up. You know, you really are my best friend.
Yes. And you're mine.
And you know I would do anything for you.
Lydia, if you're going to rip my head off, just do it.
No, babe. I'm not gonna rip your head off. I put my head on his shoulder.
I really am sorry.
Me too. And I give him a big hug. And I slide that piece of bone out from my wrist and dig it right through his heart.
Oh.
Ian, I need to know, what do? Do you defend yourself or not?
No.
The
last,
piece of bone slides in, and just as it's pushing into your heart, you can feel the stiffness in your limbs begin. You have a few, you can speak if you want.
If it was to be anybody, I'm happy it was you. Then weakly kind of like leans over and gives her a kiss on the lips and just lays his head down in their lap.
It's just for now, sweetness.
In the front of the truck, Carter, Francis, bouncing along.
Trying to find something on the radio.
Hey, knock it off. Never touch another man's radio.
It all sounds the same. Can we please listen to something else? Just for a little bit.
There's a tear in my beer 'cause I'm crying for you, dear. What? What's wrong with it?
It's nothing. It's fine.
What do you want to listen to, Bach? Fucking Chopin? What?
Oh, I don't think you could appreciate even if you tried. This is fine. Actually, I have some fun information. Did you know the history of rock and roll is connected to country? And then I'm going to continue to talk over.
This is not the time to info dump on me.
Just gonna ride that hard.
No, not the time. No. He literally like changes it over to like classical music or something like that. Anything to shut you up right now.
And it does.
Can you read the message, Kurt, and confirm to me?
Right on. Yes.
You eventually, a couple hours later, pull into, several hours later, I guess, you pull into Detroit, arriving where the Cardinal has his lair called the Cathedral. You pull up, and as you step out of the vehicle, go around to the back, you open the back of the truck. You see Ophelia's body is there. Lydia is gone. And there is a ocean of blood in the back of your truck. When you open the gate, the blood just rolls out. Just a tidal wave of it just rolls out and splashes everywhere on you, on your feet, on the ground. And the blood just keeps dripping out of it for like a good minute. Blood just rolls out of the bed of the truck, and then Ophelia's body is there, still staked.
I think Carter just looks over to Francis. We throw Stanley Kubrick back here or something, or what's going on?
Apparently we missed out on some fun, or at least something interesting.
He hops up and he holds a hand out to Francis to like help her up.
Take it, slip a little bit, but get in.
Well, I can tell you this much, Snake. We're better off not having the demons with us anyway. Why? Because they bring bad luck.
They were bringing down the party anyways.
All right, let's go hand this son of a bitch over, and then we can go our separate ways.
Sounds like a business. Let's get to it.
He literally starts humming Separate Ways as he's like hauling Ophelia out.
A few nights later, in Chicago, Lydia walks into a casino. It's made up to look exactly like a 1920s speakeasy. In fact, Lydia, as you walk in, it's made to look like a very specific one. The one that you ran with him. You look across the room. The place is full. There are people gambling, playing, eating, drinking. You look across the room and you see Emmerich. You see him there just like the last time you saw him. He is talking to a few other people. In his hand, he's holding a pomegranate. He's got it split open and he's pulling out the little blood drops from it and eating them. He's talking to a woman with red hair, a man with lanky body, tattoos across his neck. But it's him. What do you want to do?
I'm gonna walk straight up to him.
You walk up right behind him. You remember the feel of his face on yours. You remember the feel of his hand on the back of your neck. You remember his voice. You remember the scent of his body, the taste of his blood. The one who created you, your sire. He's got his back to you and he's talking, still eating the pebbles from the pomegranate.
Just put a hand on his shoulder.
He turns around, looks at you. May I help you?
Sorry, is your name Emmerich?
No, my name is Loic Durand.
Oh,
I'm sorry,
I'm gonna
do I know you?
No, you don't. I'm really sorry. I must be mistaken. And I turn to leave, and
As you go to leave, he grabs your hand very quickly and he leans in and says, "Don't look back." And as you walk away, you realize that he's left in your hands a little handful of pomegranate seeds.
I don't look back.
He turns back to the other Tremere, continues discussing with them. You walk out, step out of this casino, this place that is almost built directly from one of your memories. You look down in your hand, the pomegranate seeds. Then you remember the last thing that you saw. A look in his eyes that said, "Help me." Francis, you have slithered into the dorm room. You are standing now, having shed the skin of the snake, naked in the moonlight that's coming in. Your arm has started growing back. It's not quite there yet. You see Elliot asleep in the bed. On the nightstand, right next to her bed, there's a book. The title is The Neurotic Personality. It looks to be a book borrowed from the library. On top of it is a thank you card. That's half out of the envelope. When you pick it up, you read the words, "Hi, Cassie. Just wanted to say thank you again for being so kind. And I really enjoyed our coffee and getting to know you better. You're such a sweetheart. I look forward to getting to hang out again. I'm including a gift card to the coffee shop as a thank you and incentive. E." As you touch the card in the book, your Auspex picks up an image of a young woman who looks very distraught. Someone who feels and seems like there are ghosts about her. What do you do?
I'm going to just toss aside the note. Don't really care where it lands. And I'm going to straddle Elliot in this case. And just give her a little pat on her cheek, trying to wake her up.
Francis? Is that you?
Yes, Elliot. Hello. Hi, good evening. Sorry to disturb you.
Francis, are you naked? What's going on?
Shh, it's okay.
I need my glasses.
No, you don't. It's okay.
What are you doing here?
Elliot, bear with me. I've had a very long couple of days. And the last couple of days of people telling me what to do, what to believe, who I should be. Did you know the people's company I keep is rather unsavory?
You mean People in Economics 101?
Worse. So much worse.
Are you okay, Francis? What happened to your arm? Are you?
Shush, it's okay.
You're frightening me, Francis.
Good. I need you to understand your mistake wasn't meeting me. It wasn't meeting me for coffee. It wasn't even bumping into me on campus. I have pictured you to be something so beyond what I could hope for in a human. Something sweet, kind, what they all should be like.
But that's what you're like.
No, my dear. No, I'm not.
Yes, you are, Francis. I don't know what's going on. She reaches up and she puts a hand on your stomach. Very warmly. She says, you are. I don't know what's going on, Francis, but if you need help, I'll help you. I'll care for you. I'll be there for you.
I'm going to lean down to her ear. You're the last person who's going to tell me who I am. I'm going to make sure this hurts. Not for any reason that matters to you, but because I'm going to find it fun. And I'm going to start a very merry bloodbath.
Jeez. Oh.
Somewhere deep beneath Chicago. Archie, you feel yourself being pulled out of something. You can't move. You can't see anything. You're entirely enveloped in something that's hard and preventing you from moving. You feel blows landing on you. As they do, the shell that's around you starts to crack and fall apart, and you see white faces, the faces of the supplicants that were in the flesh pit beneath the city. They break away the shell around you. They free you from it. They help you up. You feel weak. One of them brings this big glass bowl filled with blood. They offer it to you. You smell kindred blood, powerful kindred blood, way more powerful than your own. You start to drink. The supplicants around you fall to their knees. 20, 30, 40, 50, 100 of them, all on their knees in front of you. You drink the blood. Power courses through you. You hear a voice in your head that says, "Now we can begin." Will you lead them?
Let's cause some chaos. And it just begins to laugh.
Just outside New York, somewhere near Schenectady, big rig pulls up. Parking lot of a 7-Eleven. Door opens. Cowboy boots hit the ground. Cigarette follows. Can of Miller Lite, crushed. Hits the ground. The bell on the door, bling, bling. As Carter walks in, you look around. It's late. Place is pretty quiet. You have a meeting. You know you have a few more days. Coney Island, the thing said. You know Teddy's gonna be there. But for now, you look at the lady behind the counter, who looks at you, sees you, and says, "Hey, cowboy. Welcome to New York. How can I help you?"
You know, I've been driving for the better part of about 6.5 hours, and, just got into town. Well, I heard y'all got the best barbecue in town.
My friends, just one more little bit for you here before we end this totally amazing game. Constantinople, 1098. The old man, a boss, had been old 100 years before he was embraced. Now he was even older, but he didn't feel it. The blood of Solot coursing through his veins gave him vigor and power. He felt it in the simplest movements, like reaching out to pick a pomegranate from the blood tree, a tree planted in soil kept fertile and rich and moist with blood. He placed the pomegranate on the bench next to him, drew a knife from his tunic, held the fruit firm as he made 2 perfect cuts, severing it neatly in 4. It is the blood that gives us life. So in this way, we are not so different from those who still feel the kiss of the sun on their faces. His 3 apprentices, 2 of them his children and another a lost soul who had wandered in all the way from Egypt, gathered. He gave each of them a slice of the pomegranate, each one exactly as big as the others. The fruit had been perfect, and so had been his cut. And thus we must give thanks every day to this beautiful gift we have of endless nights, and in turn we must return this gift to those in need. Go now, take a bite of the fruit, then go into the streets, find whoever is most in need, and give them the other bite. And so we share life and... But the boss was interrupted. a group of knights, all bearing the black cross and skulls of the Black Friars, erupted into the temple, swords drawn. "Betrayed!" yelled one of his apprentices, but the boss knew there would be no time for defense or recrimination. He noticed his last apprentice, the one from Egypt, slithering off into a side passage. So much for mercy, Abbas thought. It was over in moments. The lies that were spreading about his blood, those of the followers of Solat, were gaining strength. For these Black Friars, this was a cleansing, a severing of the rot. Little did they know what sin they were committing. The leader of the knights removed his helmet as Abbas's 2 children turned to ash under the attacks. They were pacifists, healers, and could ill defend themselves against the trained warriors of the Black Friars. But there was also no time to mourn. The man, though he was no more alive than Abbas was, had the vilest and most disconcerting face twisted by his Nosferatu blood. "Chevalier de Lyon," said Abbas, "I was expecting you, though perhaps not as readily as this." The Nosferatu Templar smiled his crooked smile, which made his jaw look ready to fall off. "Child of Solat, you and your devil-worshipping brethren are hereby sentenced to die." "But you knew that," de Lyon said in a mocking tone. Another knight stepped up and removed his helm. This one was still human and the most angelic, beautiful being Abbas had ever seen. This one's face won't be long for the sun, he thought. "You do the work of the devil, de Lyon. You know the lies about our clan are baseless." "I do," de Lyon said with characteristic frankness, "but you have treasure here, treasure we need, and so your nights end here." "I doubt it," Abbas said. He took a bite of his piece of the pomegranate. He offered one to de Lyon, who snarled at it. The other one, the beautiful one, took it. Another knight, this one with the face of a Portuguese, with shadows writhing about him, took another piece. Abbas noted that the 4th disciple, the snake, had run off with hers. "The true cross is what you want, then," Abbas said. De Lyon snorted through his wound of a nose. "I care not for such bauble. I have walked the sand made red by the blood of this supposed Christ and felt nothing but emptiness. There is no Christ, no light, all is void. No, I want what brings true power. I want the gold." Abbas smiled to himself, but didn't notice the Portuguese knight's eyes glint with interest as a mention of the true cross. But his reading of de Lyon's aura told Abbas what he needed to know. The knight did not know of the true treasure hidden in the temple, the one sleeping in an iron casket below their feet. Abbas's 3rd child, left outside the temple for this very reason, would see to it the casket, and the one who slept within, removed once the Templars abandoned the place. All proceeded as ordained. The one without a name would soon depart Constantinople for Francia. Abbas chewed his piece of pomegranate, savoring his last earthly delight. "De Lyon, you know not what true power is." And then his 3rd eye opened and he said in a voice that was not entirely his, "Blood binds us all." Then his head was severed from his neck, and the Templars began ransacking the temple. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you so much for hanging out with us.